I have a very exciting video for you today. I bought a bunch of things from the new legendary Diversa Part 2 collection from Oden'S. I decided to pick up the Mighty Monster bundle and the Spring Dragon bundle, and I'm gonna be showing you 2 looks. I'm gonna be swatching everything on the lips. Let's get into it. So the first legendary Diversa collection was a big hit for me. I loved those palettes, still love those palettes. I still have them on my collection. I am a huge fan of that first collection. So when I saw that there was gonna be a part 2, I was very excited and I picked up a bunch of things. I decided to go for 2 full collections and yeah, let's just jump into it. Let's start with the Spring Dragon collection. This is the palette with Oden'S and Judy. This is a very beautiful like outer packaging. This looks stunning. I love the colors. I love the mint and the pink and then the dragon. I mean, I love dragon themed anything. And then the inside is just like the pastel palette of my dreams. It is soft, it is cool toned, it has such beautiful tones in here, but you have a shade to deepen up with, like this cool tone brown you can use to create a little bit more depth in the look. I am just very excited about this palette. It's swatched amazingly. I think the whole theming here is gorgeous, and I am like so excited that Oden'S now has a pastel palette. Then we also have the lippies from this collection. We have 2 shine formulas and 1 matte formula. We have the shine formula in Dahlia. This is more of a red coral shade, a little deeper, but still keeps quite a lot of brightness to it. Definitely has a little bit of a warm undertone, but it leans a little pinky still, which makes it quite wearable, I feel, for different undertones. I feel like I could get away with this with my like neutrals or cool undertones. We also have the shine formula in Buttercup. This is a lighter kind of corally shade. Fun, bright, light, a very nice shiny shade. And then we also have the matte shade in Tulips. This is kind of like a brighter pink, but it's not like super bright. It's like bright, light, kind of like a fresh-ish pink. This is the most cool tone one of the lip products, and yeah, it's a really beautiful shade. So I just realized that I totally forgot to do the introduction for Annette's palette. I was just editing. I hear myself saying those were all the swatches, and I just feel like I'm missing something. What I was missing was my description of this palette, my first impression, the swatches. How could I forget? Maybe filming out of order is not my strong suit. So this is the Mighty Monster palette by Oden'S and Annette from Annette's Makeup Corner. Packaging once again stunning. And inside we have a mix of neutrals, of brights, of deepening up shades. We have some gorgeous, super shiny mirror-like shine shimmers. The shimmers in here are a little bit more out there than the Spring Dragon palette. Like, these are so impactful, so shiny. I feel when you look at the swatches of these, it really like jumps off the screen, but it doesn't even really do it justice. This is such a gorgeous color story. I'm usually not someone that's really into brights that much. Kind of depends on what it is, what is the undertone, what can you combine it with in the palette. But I feel like this really inspires me, and I feel like I see a lot of looks with this. Also because there are some cool tones in here which I like. I mean, the purples. I can always get on board with a good purple. And yeah, I feel like there's a lot I can do with this, even as someone who isn't someone who does a lot of bright looks. I feel like this is very user-friendly in the color story, yet very like fun and out there and a little different. And now Marty from the past will show you the lippies from this collection. In Annette's collection we have the Glow formula. This is in Breath of Fire. This is kind of like a orangey, very see-through, glowy formula with kind of like a purpley sparkle in there that just adds a little bit of interest. We also have the shade Mythic Rose. This is a little deeper, a little bit more cool tone of a reddish shade, a really nice shiny shade without any shimmer in it. And then we also have Snak Kiss. This is more of a terracotta, warm brown shade, more of a mid-tone shade, which is really, really nice for like warmer, muted undertones. Like this is a really nice, warm, nudish shade. Those were all the swatches. Let's get into these looks. Alright, I'm very, very excited for look number 1 with this Spring Dragon palette by Oden'S and Judy. This one, I mean, I almost feel like I couldn't have done it better myself. I couldn't have chosen this better myself. This is so up my alley. This is so my type of color story. I just swatched it and it all just looks so nice and cute and shiny, and I just love the shades here and the fact that we still have a little bit of a dark shade to deepen up. Can't wait to do a look with this. I love pastels, I love light shades, I love this vibe. And I was thinking, there are so many looks I want to do, but I kind of want to do a little bit of a rosy look, kind of going into the pinks, but then I also want to put this kind of like true spring green minty shade in the inner corner to have a little bit of a special pop. I think I'm just gonna start out with the shade Flora in the crease, and I'm just gonna take a Singe Beauty EO6. Gonna start out this look with that. I already primed my lids, and it's always a question how pastels will show up on the skin. That's really nice and pigmented. It is very soft though, and it is a little bit powdery in the pan, but it's buildable. I think it's quite nice. I do have to say I have a pretty fair skin tone, and pastels tend to be the shades that work best with my coloring. So keep that in mind. This shade is flying all over the palette, but at least it's a pastel shade. Yeah, it's pretty powdery. I see it flying all around. Okay, so next I do want a little bit more depth. Like this is very, very soft. I want to go into the shade called Blossom. And this is like the bright pink in the palette. Yeah, that's nice. I just really like the freshness of this. I feel like that did quite a lot for the look. Just blending it a little. And then for the shimmer on the lid, I'm gonna take the shade Petal. And I'm just gonna take it with my finger. This seems to have a little bit of almost a bluey greeny shift. That's really pretty. Definitely a little bit of a topper shade. It has a bit of a pink, like warm pink base, with a more cool shimmer throughout it. I do feel like there's a lot of Oden'S eye shimmers that are really in your face, like crazy sparkle, and this feels a little bit more dainty than that. Now I want to take the shade Dew and put it more towards the inner part of the lid. Ooh, that one is really pretty. That one is like really shiny. Ooh, that is gorgeous. Gorgeous. It would also be such a nice inner corner highlight. I think I'm gonna like add some colors to the mix. I'm gonna take Hua. I think that is the shade name. And I'm gonna put that on the lower lash line. It's the light lilac shade, which I love a good lilac. Ooh, that's really pigmented. That is actually really pigmented. Of course it's a little powdery, but it is... Wow. The pigment is really nice. I hope it shows up on camera, but it's really beautiful. I feel like this is gonna be a palette where I go into to combine with the other palettes to grab a light shade, a transition shade, inner corner highlight. I do love a little bit of a matte inner corner highlight. Ooh, that's very brightening. I'm gonna also take the shade Blossom again and put that in kind of like the outer part here. Tie it together a little more. That's also changing the undertone a little bit of that pink. So if you want that pink to show up a little bit more cool toned, you can combine them like that. I really like the shade that becomes. I think now is the moment I'm gonna take Chun in the inner corner. So the light minty green. This is my type of light minty green. This is the light minty green of my dreams. Because I feel like a lot of mints are very blue, but this is the type of mint I personally love. Wow, that is so pigmented and bright. Wow, that is such a fun shade. That is really nice. Oh, I love this. I love this so much. It's so cute. I just love that I have a shade like this in my life now. I just love, love, love it. I think I want to add a little bit of the deepest shade, the shade Wood. I'm gonna do a little bit of a shadow liner with it. That's what I usually do. So we're gonna do that today as well. I feel like this is the type of look I'm gonna be doing the most with this palette. Just a little bit of depth towards the lower lash line. But I also, I want to try a kind of purplish look with this one in the outer corner to see kind of like how that combines. Can we get a little bit of a like almost smoky, like a light smoky purple look with this palette? That would be really nice. So I'm gonna try that as well. This shadow was a bit more pigmented than I expected. I took a little more than I wanted, but it is a very pigmented brown and very nice and cool toned. All right, I feel like this is the kind of look where the mascara is gonna make it all come together. I just feel like then it's gonna be so good. I already love it. I already really love it, but we're gonna put on some mascara. I am so excited about this look. I really love how light yet bright everything looks. Only the first shade, only the first pastel that I put down, the more rosy one, was a little soft. But the rest of the shades are just so bright and fun and light. And I just love the pop of green and just the mix of the purple and the pink. I feel like this palette is so versatile and I just can't wait to do a bunch of looks with this. I mean, the purples, the yellow, it's all just shades that I love. And now I have them in the Oden'S eye formula. Thank you, Judy, for making a pastel Oden'S eye palette. I feel like I was waiting for this and I was finally here and I'm so excited and I love this look so much. Like, it's soft, but it's interesting and bright. So excited. Okay, we're gonna do the lips. Let's start with the lightest shade, I think. This is the Shine formula. This is shade Buttercup. By the way, I still have a little bit of something on my lips. Just a hint of gloss I had left. So let's try it out. I already tried this formula from the Angelic Fizz Halloween collection. Halloween. So I already know that I like it, but it's really about the shades. That is quite warm. I thought that this was gonna be more of a pink, but it's definitely quite corally. But it is quite sheer, so it's not like super bright, but it does add some brightness to your look. I really like the shade actually. If it would be full on, then it wouldn't be my shade, but because it's sheer, it's kind of like your lips, but a little bit more corally. I think this is a really cute one for spring, summer. Really cute shade. I really like the formula. It's really nice and glossy and comfortable. It's a really nice shade. By the way, at the end of the video, I'm going to be swatching them all together. All of the lip products that I got. Now I'm just lip swatching the ones from this collection for this section of the video. But I'm going to swatch them together because before I bought them, I was kind of confused about differences. And of course, I don't have all the shades. But I just wanted to swatch them all together. So the next shade we have is Dahlia, and this is also the Shine formula. Oh wait, the Shine formula was the little bit more pigmented formula, and the Glow formula. Do I have the Glow formula in this collection? The Glow formula is a little like shimmery, a little bit more see-through. So here we have another Shine in Dahlia. This is really like a sheer red gloss. This one is also really nice, also kind of bright, but still there's something soft about it because of the sheerness, because of the texture, because of the shininess on the lips. Also, this one is leaning a little warm, like it has a little bit of a warm undertone, but I don't mind it. Like I usually lean a little bit more cool with things, but I don't mind it with this one because it is so sheer. I feel like it's really leaning more natural and it's just blending in a little bit more. I really like this one as well. A really nice shade. I do have to say I'm kind of disappointed in a way by Oden's because they used to have the best smelling lip products ever to exist. The glossy lip stains smelled so good, and I feel like these are not like super bad, but they smell a little chemically. Like it smells like the ingredients, it smells a little odd. You don't smell it on the lips, but I wish it was not like that. I just wish they kept the original amazing scent, and then these lip products would be my absolute favorites. Now they are really nice, but they're just lacking that little bit of extra for me. And then lastly, we have Tulips. And I don't know, I didn't love this formula, but it could be the shade in the Angelic Enigmas collection. I just felt like it wasn't totally up my alley, but this one could be like more my shade. I mean, I like pinks a lot more than deep red, so we're gonna try it. Kind of hoping that I like this more. I was a bit unsure if I should buy it, but I think it's good to know if it was a shade or the formula, so let's apply. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I love this formula. I feel like it is very matte looking, and I know that is what it's supposed to be. It kind of looks like chalk finish on the lips. Like it doesn't feel like chalk, it feels pretty comfortable, it feels pretty nice. Like it is comfortable, but there's something about it that just makes me go like, looks a bit dry. Doesn't feel dry, but maybe it looks a bit dry. But you know, the longer I have it on the lips, the more I think I quite like it. I'm just gonna leave this on for a little bit and see how this wears. I'm gonna add a little bit of lip liner though. Alright, I feel like there's some potential to this lip for me. I definitely like it more than the dark one. I feel like the dark one got a little too dark too quickly on me. But this one, it's more about just spreading it evenly, but it's not when you have a little bit too much somewhere it's gonna look really, really deep. Like the color still looks even. Alright, so this is gonna be the finished first look. The finished look with the Spring Dragon collection. I have to say I'm very, very happy with how this turned out. I'm very happy especially with the eyeshadow palette. I mean, for me this is really the star of the show. This is so nice and I can't wait to play with this more. Like there is still so many colors in here that I want to try out. They look so good, like the swatches. Looked amazing, and I just can't wait to do like a full mint look, a purple look. I can't wait. The lip products is really a question of which shades you like. I feel like they're a really nice formula. Even this matte one is kind of starting to grow on me, while usually these kind of like clay matte liquid lipsticks are not really my thing. They're pretty shades. They are leaning a bit warm though, the shine ones. This one is a bit more cool toned. The packaging, 10 out of 10. Yeah, so far so good. So far I'm really enjoying this. It is time for look number 2. I'm very excited about this palette and the look I'm gonna do. The Mighty Monster palette with Oden's Eye and Annette from Annette's Makeup Corner. Her first collab with Oden's Eye is one of my favorite color stories of all time. And I feel like once again we get something that is kind of that vibe, but also different. So I've been kind of looking at this palette thinking what I want to do. I think I want to go into kind of like the blue and green here. Like kind of like this spot over here. I swatched these two shimmers. They were absolutely gorgeous, very wet looking and kind of wet feeling, like very interesting, very different from the Spring Dragon palette. Actually, you can definitely tell that there is some difference in taste between these two collaborators. So I think I'm just gonna go into Oceanic. I'm just gonna start with that in the crease. This looks like a really nice kind of like pastel blue. Just gonna start out with that because I don't want the whole look to be like super dark. If I go into the darker green, I want something like put something light down first to kind of blend it into. That is a really nice shade. Very nice and pigmented. I feel like with these kinds of shades also being in a palette, you can also really easily do some kind of springtime looks. Like there's a lot of versatility here, and that is something that I really love with color stories. Yeah, we're gonna go into the shade Jormungandr. Jormungandr. I think that was it. Gonna put that in the crease as well, but a little bit more precise. This is a bit of a like darker tealy green, and I'm just taking a really small brush actually to kind of like be as precise as I can with it. This is the Singe EO5. I think that looks really nice. I feel like that was really easy to apply. I really like how this is looking. I'm just gonna go over with that first brush because I want the dimension, but I don't want to look that's like super dark here. I feel like that also shows the versatility of shadows. If you can wear them a little bit more softly and wear them a little bit more like bold and build up. Alright, so I'm really excited about these shimmers. I'm gonna go into Serpent Scales with my finger. Like these are such juicy, like almost wet feeling shimmers. These two, Electrum and Serpent Scales, are very wet feeling, and the shine on these, like this is absolutely crazy. This is such a mirror-like shine that is gorgeous. That is out of this world. So stunning. Like we have different formulas in the Oden'S eye shimmer. Like we have so many different options, and some are a little bit more subtle, still pretty, a little bit more subtle. Like in the Spring Dragon palette, it's just a little bit more soft, but here this is just in your face shine. I pick it up with my finger very carefully because you don't need to really like go into the palette, like go into the pan and like apply pressure because it's so pigmented. It's not necessary. All right, let's go into the shade Electrum now, and I'm just gonna leave this on my finger for if I need to blend later. Like this feels so wet, and it kind of like the structure in the pen kind of like blends together. Is this a cream eyeshadow? Like kind of feels like it. I feel like what I'm doing is so awkward, but it made sense to me. That's stunning. Okay, now I'm gonna go over with that green a little bit and just blend it together. That is so beautiful. I think I'm gonna go in with the matte teal in a second. Like some shimmers just need a bit more like from the mattes to kind of make it all at the same level. This is absolutely stunning. I'm just gonna take that teal and add a little bit more in the crease because I just feels like there's a little bit of a disconnect between the mattes and the shimmers, just in the very crease. And I kind of want to go back into that blue and kind of intensify over here. I'm kind of thinking if I should do a shadow liner with a different color or just go in with the teal again. I think I'm gonna go in with the brown. I'm gonna use that as my shadow liner. I don't want to like ruin this look now by experimenting too much. That is such a nice pigmented brown. Like you definitely don't need a lot to get this shadow liner going. For the lower lash line, I'm just gonna do what I did in the crease. So we're just gonna start out with the light blue. I feel like that definitely shows up more with a primer, which makes sense, but needs a little bit more help for the lower lash line. So we're just gonna go in with the green and then with the blue just to blend it out. All right, for the last step of this look, I definitely want to try Glow Vortex. This looked amazing in the swatch. It's a little bit more smooth than the shimmers I tried so far. It looked amazing. I love the shift in it, kind of like this warm yellowish, lime-ish. It just looks warm. It just looks like sunshine. Just gonna take that with a pencil brush. Ooh, that is so shiny and pigmented. This is so pretty. I feel like I want to do a little extra on the lower lash line. It feels like could be something there, something extra shiny maybe. I think I'm gonna dip into Midgard Gleam, the more orangey shimmer. I might regret this, but we're gonna try it. Yeah, it's definitely warm, but it also has something a little green to it, which does make sense here, I feel. It does blend together. Alright, I think I've done enough. I think I've been working on this eye look enough. I'm just gonna do the rest of my makeup except the lips. Then we can try out the 3 lip products from Annette's collection. Alright, so this is the look so far. I'm excited to try the lip products. We have, once again, 3 lip products. And we have 2 shine and 1 glow formula. I think we're gonna start it with the glow. This is Breath of Fire, and this seems to have kind of like a see-through orangey base. And then there are purple shimmers in it, it seems. So let's try it on the lips. I personally feel like the scent of this one is more pleasant than the shine lip formulas that I have tried. Maybe there's something about the glow formula where the actual like perfumey scent that they add to it shines through a little more, but this one I actually really like the scent of. This smells really nice. This is kind of like a warm-ish see-through lipstick. I don't know, do I really see the shimmer here? It's subtle. You can see it like when you turn your head, there's a little bit of purple shimmer. It's a little bit like an extra something that makes it a little bit more special. This feels really nice on the lips. It looks really nice on the lips. I feel like this is more of a no makeup look kind of like lip formula for me because it's a little bit more subtle. The next one I want to try is a more red shade. This is the shade Mythic Rose, and this is kind of like a deeper reddish rose shade. It looks really nice in the swatch, so let's see what it's like on the lips. It is a rose, but it definitely has a little bit of a warmish undertone as well. Almost like it's a little bit of a burnt rose. I would say that this is a pretty like out there shade. It's definitely quite bright. It's definitely gonna be noticeable. It is really cute though. It feels kind of like the older, a little bit more grown-up sister from the shade from Judy, what was it called again? The one in Dahlia. It feels a little lighter. The one in Dahlia, this one feels a little bit more like pigmented, a little bit more out there, but maybe I'm just making that up. Just feels a bit like it. And the last shade we have is Snak Kiss, and this is kind of like a terracotta brown. Usually this isn't really a type of shade that suits me, but because it's a little bit more sheer, I'm hoping it will kind of like blend in with my lip color a little better. So let's try it. Okay, I think this shade is gorgeous. Do I think it suits me? I don't know. I don't think it's terrible, but it is quite warm. It is quite muted. It is quite like brownish warm, but I totally get this vibe, this lip color for the collection. I think it is beautiful, and I think a lot of people are gonna love this. I think this is gonna be a shade that is gonna suit a lot of skin tones. Okay, so this is the finished look with the Mighty Monster collection, and I actually love how this came out. Love the eyeshadow, love the lip. It is very out there, but I still feel like I could make it a little bit more soft. Maybe I'm just delusional. Maybe I'm just making that up. I just feel like this looks really cute. I just love it. I am very, very impressed with this look. Alright, so obviously I'm very excited about this collection, but let's just quickly go over what I've tried, what we've tried, and what were like the biggest hits. I don't feel like we have any misses here. Like, these are beautiful, beautiful products. The Spring Dragon palette, I mean, this is just stunning. It's definitely a little softer. It's meant to be a little softer, but the mattes in here, the pastels in here, except maybe for like the shade Flora, very pigmented, very visible on the eyes, at least on my skin tone. I was very impressed with them. The shimmers are beautiful, but just a little bit softer, but I feel like it really fits the vibe of this palette. It's definitely not a palette where I'm like, wow, those shimmers are boring. I really like the whole idea here, the whole vibe, and I can't wait to do more looks with this. This is gorgeous. And let's talk about all the lip products. I'm just gonna show you some swatches of all of them together. I feel like there's kind of a similar vibe going on with like the two reddish shades, then the two kind of lighter, warmer shades. I feel like there is definitely still a noticeable difference in the depth and undertone of these shades. But you can see for yourself which ones would you like to pick up. Like you can see them all together, not from the whole collection, but at least this gives you an idea about these shades. The Shine shade in Buttercup, really cute, kind of like a light corally shade, I think is really nice. Then the Matte Lips and Tulips. I wore this all evening yesterday, and the more I wore it, the more I actually started to like it because it's very comfortable. It's a really nice shade. It's just bright, but not too bright, not too overpowering for me. I actually feel like there could be like something growing here between me and this formula. Like this liquid lipstick could convince me to kind of watch out for more matte liquid lipsticks by Oden'S. It's really comfortable. I have really dry lips and this felt really nice. And then we also have the shade Dahlia, of course, a more like reddish coral. I feel like this is such a nice shade for this spring. And the lippies are from Annette, Breath of Fire. I can see myself wearing this a lot. It just has a little touch of something for the lips. You can definitely see the color, but it's a little more subtle, but it's something that I like to wear a lot. Then we have Snak Kiss that I'm wearing right now. I feel like this is gonna be so many people's favorites. I can see so many people loving this. It is a little bit of a terracotta-ish shade for sure, but there's something kind of like almost a little brighter about it, which makes it really interesting. And then the shade Mythic Rose. I really think this is such a beautiful shade. A little bit deeper, a little bit cooler than the shade in Dahlia from the Spring Dragon collection. I think all of these lip products are really nice. Like I of course have my personal favorites. There are just shades that are more up my alley, but I feel like I'm gonna wear this all, and I like all the formulas that Oden'S has come out with, and I'm kind of looking forward to them actually launching this as a permanent line. Like maybe 6 matte liquid lipsticks, 6 glow lipsticks, and then 6 shine liquid lipsticks. I would love to see their own take on this because these are really nice formulas. These are really comfortable. They look really nice on the lips. I would love to see more. And then of course the Mighty Monster palette. I'm so in love with this look. The swatches of these looked amazing. I feel like this color story is very different. A little bit out there. It does challenge me, but it's still wearable and I can still see so many looks that I want to do with this. And I feel like there's just something like Annette, she really has such an eye for color. I'm obsessed with this color story. You can go more light, you can go more deep. It's very versatile, and I feel like these palettes together, like these are really nice companion palettes because here you have kind of like deepening up shades, some shimmers that are really, really spectacular. And here you have kind of like the matte inner corner highlight, the shade to blend it in with, the kind of lighter tone to kind of combine. I feel like I am very excited for this collection overall, and I'm just gonna end the video there because I feel like I could keep going on and on and on gushing about this collection. I'm just a fan of Oden'S and these creators, of course. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to like the video if you liked it, and don't forget to subscribe, and then I will see you in my next one. Bye bye.